Hello, hello, hello. This is Jeff, the host of the Big Dirty Talk Show. I think about 2 days ago, I shared a link to a story, and I, you know, told my fan base that I would be doing a video giving my thoughts and opinions on the whole the story. But the story is about a young man by the name of Conrad Roy III. About 2 years ago, he committed suicide by connecting a generator to a truck's exhaust and dying of carbon monoxide poisoning in his garage. Now, it's a pretty fucking disturbing story. Very disturbing. Um, According to court records, his long distance girlfriend, Michelle Carter, basically convinced him to kill himself. Court records, they have the text conversations between the two prior to his suicide. And now the transcripts are kind of disturbing, and I will share a link in the description box so you can go check out the story yourself. But I'm gonna read some of the texts that was sent to him before he, successfully offed himself. All right. Quote: I think your parents know you're in a really bad place. I'm not saying they want you to do it, but I honestly feel like they can accept it. They know there is nothing they can do. They've tried helping. Everyone's tried. But there is a point that comes where there isn't anything anyone can do to save you, not even yourself. And you've hit that point. And I think your parents know you've hit that point. You said your mom saw a suicide thing on your computer and she didn't say anything. I think she knows it's on your mind and she's prepared for it. Everyone will be sad for a while, but they will get over it and move on. They will always carry you in their hearts. And when Mr. Conrad Roy III expressed doubt, his long-distance bitch of a girlfriend, Michelle, laid the manipulative encouragement on thick. She said, quote, I thought you wanted to do this. This time is right, and you're ready. You just need to do it. You can't keep living this way. You just need to do it like you did the last time and not think about it and just do it, babe. You can't keep doing this every day. Now, court records have also shown that afterwards, after he killed himself, she texted a friend and said, quote, like, honestly, I could have stopped it. I was the one on the phone with him, and he got out of the car because the carbon monoxide was working, and he got scared. I fucking told him to get back in. And also after they found his body and after his suicide, was discovered, she also started like a fundraiser and gave like speeches and shit, just playing the fucking victim, even though she was responsible mostly for this young man killing himself. And this is just a reflection of the sickness, the fucking cancer that is white Western women. Now, I know, I'm probably going to get bombarded with comments telling me how not all white Western women are like that. And I know they're not all like that. But generally speaking, white Western women are just fucking sick. They are sick and just narcissistic and manipulative fucking people. I mean, just the amount of narcissism and the amount she's a sociopath. Like, even though she was basically responsible for him killing himself, she still tried to garner sympathy and play the victim in the whole matter. And this story pissed me off, and it hit home with me, because anyone that knows me knows that I advocate heavily for men's issues, you know, which I don't think is very unfair considering I'm a man, you know. It's natural for me to worry about things that are more likely to affect me, you know. And a lot of people, for some fucked up reason, they get mad and irritated with men who do that. Not too many people get pissed off at women who take, a particular worry with breast cancer because breast cancer affects women more. So it's totally fucking fair that women kind of worry about the shit. But anyways, um, it hit home with me because, as a man, I've experienced things throughout my life, and I've noticed certain things, and a lot of other men have too. It's just a lot of other men, they have like a stigma when it comes to speaking out about it or talking about it. But, in terms of suicide, 77.9% of all suicides are men. And it is the seventh leading cause of death amongst males. Now, these are all facts and statistics from the Center for Disease Control. I'll try to share because I already know I'm going to have that pretentious fuck who's going to demand that I cite my fucking sources. So I'm going to share that in the description box too, just to avoid that fucking bullshit. But yeah, and so naturally, it's something I worry about, something I think about. And after reading the story, it pissed me off. And now, everybody knows that if it was women who accounted for close to 80% of all suicides, it would be a fucking epidemic. There would be marches, there would be nonprofit organizations, there'd be charities, there'd be walks. The president would fucking go live and make a big statement about it. It would be a fucking problem. But I don't know if any of you have noticed, in terms of suicide, it don't really get that much attention. I mean, I'm not going to say it gets no attention because I'd be lying. It gets some attention, but when you consider how often it happens amongst men, you would think it might get a little more attention, but it doesn't. Hell, people make jokes about it. I mean, how many times have you heard someone say, "Go, kill yourself," or "Oh, you sad? You thinking about killing yourself?" And I just feel like if women were the ones that were committing suicide at that rate, a suicide joke would be considered very distasteful, and people wouldn't really like it too much. Oh, don't mind me. I'm drinking Foster's beer, so if I take like a second or two out of a sentence, just know that it's because I'm sipping a brew. But but yeah, if it happened to women at that rate, it would be extremely distasteful to make a joke about it. For example, rape. Now, I mean, it's a lot of people like to argue that for some fucked up reason that rape happens to men just as often as women, which is kind of bullshit. It doesn't happen nearly as often. But like with rape, we all know rape affects women more. And a lot of the times when somebody makes a rape joke, people get pissed. People kind of like, hey, just chill out there. That's kind of a touchy thing. But with the whole suicide thing, it's fair game. But with the whole suicide thing, they've also studies have also shown that women are significantly more likely to have suicidal thoughts or to attempt suicide but not complete it. And which is considered the gender paradox, when you consider that women are more likely to have the thoughts but men are more likely to actually do the shit. And I know the reason that is. I know why that happens and it's like I said in my previous video. By the way, if you haven't seen that, go ahead and take a listen, like, comment, give me your thoughts, opinions. But anyways, it's like I said in my previous video that it all starts from the time we're born. You got a boy, a toddler. He's running around. He's being goofy, doing what kids do. He falls, scrapes his knee. 90% of the time, somebody will just pick him up real quick, wipe him off, say, suck it up, be a man, be tough. As opposed to a little girl. She's playing, being goofy, falls, scrapes her knee. The entire earth stops spinning, and everybody within a 1 mile radius of that little girl stops what they're doing, checks on her, makes sure she's okay, nurtures her, and makes sure she is 100% before they leave. And that leaks straight into adulthood. Straight into adulthood. Whenever men have issues, whenever we have problems, we're not allowed to really be vocal about our problems. We're always expected to suppress our emotions, to not seek help even when we need it. Whereas women, if you look at the amount of help that is offered to women as opposed to men, it's baffling to me. Women have all these nonprofit organizations, charities. They have fucking laws and acts that specifically protect them. The Violence Against Women's Act. Compared to men, we don't really have much. We don't have any domestic violence shelters specifically for us. We don't. I mean, I'd be lying if I said we didn't have any charities and stuff. But our charities and our nonprofit organizations don't get nearly as much money as women's. For example, breast cancer. Now, I'm not saying breast cancer isn't a problem. It is. Any fucking cancer is a problem. And it's just common sense. But, studies have shown that breast cancer, while it is a problem, it is not that common in women. I mean, not nearly as much as suicide is amongst men. You want to take a guess on what gets more money, attention, publicity, and care? I mean, that's the easy answer. Breast cancer. They have an entire month dedicated to breast cancer. They have walks, marches, charities, all sorts of shit. They have fucking wristbands that sports teams wear and shit. People view it as a problem. But the main thing I really want to touch on is just, like I said, the sickness that is the white Western woman. How old was she at the time? 16, 17, at the time she was 16, 17 years old. The fact that she was able to coach this young man into killing. Now, this is her boyfriend. This is somebody that she is supposed to love. The fact that she was able to coach him into killing himself, text a friend afterwards, and tell that friend that I fucking told him to do it. He tried getting out of his truck, but I fucking told him to get back in. And then make speeches and do fundraisers and just garner all this sympathy, even though you caused it. It just really puts on display the level of narcissism the average white Western woman has. And just, I'm sorry, people won't agree with me. I don't give a fuck. Okay, I'm going to say most Western women, because it's not just, trust me, it's not just white. Most Western women are complete fucking sociopaths. They are sick fucking people. Now, me as a man, and judging by, like, the men I've talked to throughout my entire fucking life, wouldn't even think about doing some shit like that. We wouldn't even... Like, men, most of the time, we're not going to convince anyone to fucking kill themselves. But if we did, and they went through with it, we would kind of lay low. Most men, if you had a fucked up guy who convinced some broad or some other person in general to kill themselves, there's we're not going to come out and try to garner sympathy and make speeches and start fundraisers. We're going to lay the fuck low. Like, it's going to hit us. Like, because men know we're not invincible by any stretch. We know that when a man fucks up, society is out to get us. And we don't want to make ourselves any more vulnerable than we have to. But it just takes a certain level of comfort to be able to convince someone to kill themselves and then come out the way she did about it. Because she knew that as a female, she's practically untouchable. She knew that she would be able to convince someone to kill themselves and then come out and play the victim. And people would climb on board. And then with her attorneys, now her attorneys are arguing that she should not be charged with involuntary manslaughter. And mind you, her true attorneys are men. They're fucking men. How any self-respecting man could represent and fight for this sick, twisted fucking sociopath is beyond anything I could fathom. Because if I was an attorney, I don't give a fuck how much some broad offered me. If some bitch said, hey, I convinced someone to kill themselves, I need you to get me out of this, I'd be like, fuck you twice. But, yeah. Which is why I don't put 100% of the blame on women. You know, when it comes to like men's issues and shit. I blame some men too. Because I'm pretty sure she probably went to some female attorneys and they were like, fuck you, kinda, because you're fucking weird and twisted. But I'm gonna take a sip of beer, hold on. But just the level of comfort is disturbing. Most sane people, you know, when they do a crime, when they commit a crime or they do something fucked up, they try to lay low and stay under the radar. This bitch came right the fuck out. This bitch came up like Kanye, like, hey, I'm gonna let you finish, but I started the best fundraiser of all time. I made the best speech on his behalf of all time. Yeah, it's wild to me. But, you know, men, it's also, like I said in my previous video, men, you know, like I said, we're taught to suppress our emotions, to not respect ourselves, to put everybody's needs before ours. We always have to come dead last. And I think that ultimately led to him being so easily coerced into killing himself. Because he, you know, it's like the text transcript said, you know, let me go back to those. It says, your parents know you're in a really bad place. I'm not saying they want you to do it, but I honestly feel they can accept it. They know there's nothing they can do. They've tried helping. Everyone's tried, but there comes a point where there isn't anything anyone can do to save you, not even yourself. And, you know, so on and so forth. So basically what she did was she expressed to him that his suicidal thoughts was basically a burden to everyone else. She really emphasized that. She also emphasized how she wanted him to do it. So in that situation, as a man, the way he has been conditioned his whole life, he put everyone else's wants and needs before his. He wanted to get out of that car. But when she mentioned how, talking about his family and talking about how she wanted him to do it, like he's been trained to do, like a good little man, he put everyone's wants, supposed wants and needs before his own, and he got back on that truck. And he ingested carbon monoxide, and he killed himself. And, you know, it really hits home with me because, you know, suicide is a problem amongst men. It really is. I mean, at one point in my life, I've even had suicidal thoughts. And when I did, and this was after my a divorce from my first marriage, when I was going through all my that hell through family court, and I had suicidal thoughts, and I honestly didn't feel like there was anyone I could reach out to. I honestly felt like the majority of people that I would text or try to talk to and just vent to, I got a vibe that they were irritated with the fact that a man was venting and expressing frustration. So that left me in a weird position. I didn't I felt like there was no one I could talk to. And in that position, if you don't have anyone to talk to and it's just you, I mean, you feel locked in, you feel caged. You feel like there's nothing you can do, and you feel like the only way to escape this pain is just end it all. I mean, it did get better for me as time went by, and there are people that I could have I reached out to. There are like two or three fucking people that kind of helped me pull through it, but that's just the main thing. The main point I'm really trying to drive here is men, the longer that we're convinced that we need to suppress our emotions and that it is not manly to reach out for help when we're on hard times, you know, the more that men are just going to keep killing themselves. And the more that, somebody's going to lose a brother, a father, an uncle, a son, even, heaven forbid any of that happens. That's my topic for tonight. Um, I hope I had people listening, like, comment, give me your thoughts, opinions on the whole subject. I'll keep you guys updated about my next topic. But I hope everyone has a great night. And until next time, peace.